Welcome to Lost in the Lakes, and this one is about Storm Ashley. Welcome to Lost in the Lakes, where you get brews, reviews, but best of all, views. Right, so no wild camp video this week, purely because there's been a storm. It wasn't as bad as it thought it was going to be forecasted over the night, so don't know if you can probably hear that now. It's Sunday afternoon and we're going to go up Latrigg. Now this is purely a video to show you what it can be like, or what you think what conditions like are on the ground here compared to what they are up there. Now, gusting at the moment, probably about 30 miles an hour. I'm predicting a lot more up there. The wind is coming from the south, as you can see. It's clouds, very patchy, but we do get bits of wind like that. There we go. So I'm keeping an eye out in the trees here because there's a few fallen branches on the ground. Welcome to Lost in the Lakes, where you get brews, reviews, but best of all, views. Welcome to Lost in the Lakes, where you get brews, reviews, but best of all, views. So I'm going through, looking up basically, and listening out for branches and things, especially when the wind's going. Sometimes you can hear a branch falling, but other times it can just take you out. So yeah, we're taking a bit of a risk. I think the most risky bit for me is the bottom bit through the trees. On the top there, this is why I've chosen Latrigg. The wind, woo! Right, so that's what it's like. Now, to give you an idea, I used to do a bit of kiteboarding, so I kind of understand how wind works. And from what I've seen, it works its way down, so wind comes at an angle like that. So you hear the tops of the trees going first, and then it works its way down, then you feel it. So when you look at the top of the trees, if you can start seeing them bending, you know that you're going to get a sudden gust of wind. Now, because of little gusts like that, have to be really careful. So what I was saying about why I'm choosing Latrigg is basically because the wind is pushing you back off the mountain, and it's quite safe on the back side of it. Anyway, we're at the bottom of Spoony Green Lane now, just heading up. I've done a few guides of how to get up here in the past, but this one is more of a test to see what wind's like, and in my experience, what to do in windy conditions. Mainly stay in and stay out, don't go up, but there are going to be people going up. I was in town today, someone was asking how to get up Catbells, and I said not today. It's certainly not a fell you want to be going up. I mean, you shouldn't really be going up any fells. I mean, you can hear that wind there. So you can hear it first and then it comes down. I'm also watching again for branches and things, so sorry if I'm not looking at the camera. I'm just looking out for branches in the gusts of winds. even when the wind dies down, the gust of wind might break it, but it might just be that little bit of wind that pushes the branch off. So I can just see the tops bending, this tree specifically. Okay, we're in a nice little opening here. Good place to see how windy it is. Now I don't think the mic will pick it up. I think it'll be too windy for even, got a little wind muff on there. I think it'll be even too windy for that. When I was up in top of Lord's Seat there, I had to play around with the audio just to stop the noise of the wind. And that was probably only 30 to 40 mile an hour. I think we're looking at 60 to 70 up here today. So hopefully we get up to the top. Right, we're just gaining a bit more height. We're nicely sheltered in the wind here. So we're going to be coming up to a point in a minute where we're more exposed in the wind, and probably get an idea firsthand what it's like to be going up and what it'll be like on top. Now, it'll still be nothing like what it's right on the edge, but I'm kind of anticipating that I'm not going to be able to get up over to the edge. I think it might be too windy for that. You can see we are pretty sheltered. Seen a few people coming down. One of them said that they got up there, but they weren't there for long. So again, not anticipating too much. So you can hear that. There's a branch there fallen. Now again, just looking up at the trees while I'm going through these parts. Usually find that it's trees on the edge that get most of the battering. If the wind's coming through these trees here from the back end there, it's usually the front edge trees that get the brunt of it. Right, I'll bring you back when we're up at that little viewpoint. Just as I switched the camera off then, there was an almighty gust. Anyway, we're coming up to this viewpoint. I'll bring you back up there. Right, as I've come up to the sort of exposed point, the wind's just totally died down. But that's nothing to say, it'll pick up any second. There's a little bit of breeze. Looking over in the distance there, it does look like there's rain, but it's very misty. And I just don't know whether that's just the wind stirring up the cloud or what, but we've had no rain at all. And it's been like that for quite some time. But I've brought some glasses just in case it starts raining, so I can see, because if the wind's blasting and then obviously the rain, then you're not going to be able to see at all. But we're coming up to this little exposed part. I can see some trees moving, but again, sod's law, it's died down. We're at the most exposed point of the walk so far, and it's been calm. Hey look, Gale Gill Woods. Must mean it gets windy up here. There's another place called Windy Gap. There's a reason why it's called Windy Gap. And it channels the wind right in. Now I wondered if this is called Gale Gill. Obviously it's a gill, but whether it does get very windy. But I could just see over in the distance there all the waves breaking on the Derwent Water. There's a bit of wind. Now looking at where it's coming from, we probably are a bit shaded here. So we're just getting it, the wind coming round the corner and then battering us from this side. So I imagine once you get up and over the top there, it will get a lot windier. There we go, that's a bit of a gust now. You can actually see Keswick from this point as well. It's down there, the big white building that's just down there, that's the pencil factory, or the old pencil factory. Yeah, I would not like to be up any mountain other than this one. Just in a little gully here, so there's a lot less wind, but there's these new trees that probably haven't experienced the wind like it's gonna. So whether they're strong enough, I don't know. But we're gonna get up now, and from now on it's gonna be really exposed. So apologies for any of the wind noise. Gets too bad, I'll try wind noise reduction. Right, so early on I was just saying, someone was asking if they could get up cat bells today, and I categorically said no. And I've just met him now. He's actually just come down from the top of that tree and he never made it up there. Now this is Storm Ashley. It was forecast to come in earlier today, but now it's looking like it's going to be peaking at about 7 o'clock tonight. So it's 4 o'clock now, and yeah, I wouldn't like to be out at 7 o'clock at night on the hills. I think it'll be a bit too bad when it's dark as well, and it's to that point of when is it at the what's the point am I doing this for time. The reason why I'm going up is, to be honest, it is a bit of fun, but it's also to give you an idea of what the winds are like. Like I say, this is a relatively safe low fell, probably one of the safest fells I know for me personally as well, just because I know it so well. It's really close to Keswick, it's got a road at the back of it, so you can actually drive up pretty much 3/4 of the way and then just pop over the top. So for access it's really good. It's even got wheelchair access. Now I'd say it'll be off-road wheelchair access, I wouldn't say it's flat. Take some young fit people with you to push you over the hill, or an electric one might just get over there, but there is a path made for that. Right, apologies for the change in setting, I've just changed it. It's just occurred to me that I haven't got horizon balancing on, which means if I do that with the camera it stays level, but it does cut me in a little bit. So I've just started going up the sort of final section. The wind so far is not too bad, not as exposed as what I thought it was going to be, but we're still on the back side of the fell, so we're still yet to get any of it really. Looking at the trees down below, they are looking fairly sturdy, so again we're at a gap in the wind, and it's been worse early on and it's going to get worse late on, so you can pretty much guarantee in this walk it's going to get worse. But again, not too bad. That guy I was speaking to down there, he said he was advised by 2 runners not to go over the top. Now I believe I've seen 2 runners going down there, and there were young lads that did look like experienced fell runners. So if they're saying it's bad, it must be quite bad. Anyway, we'll go up and have a look, eh? Okay, wind is picking up. Getting bits of grit in my eyes as well, which usually indicates that there is some strong wind picking up. Oh. Might have to put the old shades on. It look funny having sunglasses on in this weather, but at least I better see. Oh. Yeah, so not too bad. I mean, if this was the wind, I've pitched my tent in this before. And albeit not brilliant, but this is the constant wind, this isn't the gust. Right, just trying to shade the mic a little bit. Get a feel of what the wind's a bit more like and what it's going to be like on the top. Here's not too bad. But what happens is it hits the mountain and then really comes up. So it hits it and squirts up over the edge. So when you get to the edge of the mountain, especially this one that's exposed, it really pushes you. Right, I'll bring you back a little bit further up. Okay, the wind's picking up a bit more now. Hairstyle's looking brilliant. I'm looking like I'm from the 1940s. Just trying to shape my mic a bit, trying to at least get a bit of shade from the wind. Oh, no, it's just died down for a second. Now, last time I was up here, when it was windy, there was quite a few people walking up to the top, looking over and then walking back. This time there's no one. And I think this is what the wind was like when it was on top. Maybe a little bit more. But I think this is going to be quite a fun ride. Okay, I've just moved the mic on the inside. Protect it a bit more. Hopefully you can hear me. As you can see, the wind's really picking up. Can't hear myself now. The good thing is I'm heading into the wind, so I can lean into it. Still fairly clear as well. But you can see some darker clouds coming in that way. A lot darker than what we've had. Right, I'll bring you back up at the top. Okay, so I'm finding it hard to even walk in this wind. It's a full-on headwind now, so I can lean right into it. And if this horizon balancing thing works, you'll see what angle I'm at when the wind's blowing. So it's lost. As soon as I put the camera on, it dies down. Right, there's no way of telling when you're going to get a gust from here, because you can't really see the trees, and you're higher than most of them, so it's going to hit you first. You can look at the grass and everything and try and gauge what the wind's going to be like. But most of the time you just got to hunker down. Now if you do get a really bad bit of wind, the best thing to do is hit the deck and just get as low as possible. That'll stop you moving and tends to be a lot easier to, there's a lot less wind on ground level. Right, we're not far from the bench now. I think we're going to be all right. I'm just looking at my backpack straps. I think I need to cinch these down a bit. Right, we're all strapped in. Ready for this gust on the top here. To be honest, I think we're going to be all right. I can hear the wind, but it's when you get over that edge, that's when you start to feel it. You can see bits of grass. See if we can get up to this seat and have a little sit down, eh? Nice weather for a seat. There we go. Lovely weather. Sunshine. Oh, spectacular. Well, there you go. That's what it's like with the wind blowing. Woo! Right, I'm going to get up. Oh my God. Right, let me just hide behind here. Now that's the difference when you jump behind a little knoll. The difference in wind, as you can see, is quite bad. Let's see if I can stand up. I can hardly hold the stick. Now, that must be 70 mile an hour plus. And the storm hasn't even hit yet. The storm hasn't even hit yet. This is the start of it. So imagine what it'd be like up here. No tent surviving this. You can take your hilly bergs, but they're not surviving this. Windy, it's ripping my hands. Right, I'm going to get over to a windy bit, but maybe safer. How bad is that, eh? Now this is what I'm on about, it being a safe mountain. You know for a fact if anything happens and you go over that way, it's quite a long grassy bit. And you come away from the edge here, and what happens is the wind hits the fell and goes up a bit, so you've got a little bit of shade. So you're not going far. The wind was going the opposite way, or if you're up a fell on a ridge, it'd be a lot worse. Whew. Right, let's have one last go. We'll get along to the bench and then we'll walk off down that way. Right, so it's standable, I'm just going to go up to that bench because that does get the brunt of it. Because it's steeper at that point, so there's a lot more wind funnels up. So here, you can walk, you're fine. A few more steps, and you've got that. Right, let's jump off this. Right, so that's Storm Ashley up that trig. It is a bit exhilarating, that. So that's what it's like. That's the difference between down on ground level, down in the valley there, where you've got 20-mile-an-hour winds, and we're not up. I mean, Skidder's up there. You know, we're 1,000 foot up. That's 3,000 feet. So imagine what it's like up there. I could imagine there's no one up there. You can probably, there's probably ways you can get up, but there'd be no one stood on top at all. Yeah. So, bit of an experiment to show you what it's like from the valley to up a small hill, the difference in wind, and you can see that, can't you? Right, this has been Lost in the Lakes, and we'll see you in the next one.